Kלים Periches Mishnah Tes. We're carrying on with the dinim of Tanur and Kira. Borish yesh boy base shefisa tome. This is similar to the Mishnah we had early on in Perikei Mishnah Yud, where it mentioned the yoiros ho'arabi in the Arab pots, also known as the Tanuros shel ben dinoi. This is very similar. The only difference is there we were talking about baking, and now we're talking about a stove used for cooking. One digs a pit into the ground, and instead of having a tanur and kira which stands on top of the ground, the tanur and the kira here is actually made in the ground. One lines the inside of the pit with the required tit to make an oven, which was the case of the tanur shel ben dinoi. One bakes inside the pit lined with tit. Now, instead of baking inside the pit, this Mishnah is dealing with a kira. One digs a pit, one lines it with a tit, and then one puts the kdeira, the pot, on top of the pit with a fire inside the pit. So this is a stove dug into the ground. It says the Mishnah, if it's got a beis shefis, if it's got somewhere where you can actually put the kdeira on top and cook it, Tomei, it's counted as a kira because of the layer of tit, and we have a kira and it's Tomei. V'shel oisei zechuch is a similar arrangement which is used by the people who make glass. Im yesh boy beis shefisa, if it's also got a similar arrangement where you can place a pot on top to cook over the fire, then it's Tomei. The Tosfos Yom Tov actually does not know why this case is being distinguished from the ratio where it says Borish yesh boy beis shefisa Tomei, and now it says Shalois Chuchis im yesh boy beis shefisa Tomei. The dinim are the same. If they have a beis shefisa, they're Tomei, so Tosfos Yom Tov is not sure why the Mishnah splits it in this way. And the Mishnah carries on. We're now moving from a Tanur Nekira to something called a Kivshon. Kivshon is a much bigger than a regular small oven or stove. Kivshon has big fires in it. Kivshon shel sayodin v'shel zagogin v'shel yotzrim tohira. A sayod is somebody who makes lime. Lime is a chemical, I think it's calcium oxide, used for making plaster and for other building materials. It's derived from burning the stone called limestone. And then you need a very hot oven for this, very hot fire. So the fire, the furnace used by these professional people, these are called sayodin. Shel zagogin are people who make glassware. So as opposed to the ratio when we would say shel oisis chuchis, that's people who make glass, and now we're dealing with shel zagogin, people who make glassware. V'shel yotzrim, people who have a furnace. A yotzer is a potter, somebody who makes kli cheres. These type of ovens, says the Mishnah, they are tahira, they're tahir. And it's not very clear why they are actually tahir. The Chazon Ish says that the difference between a kivshon and a regular tanur v'kira, he says that tanur v'kira is used, one cooks or bakes using either the top surface or the walls from inside, as one does in the baking of a tanur. Here one uses the base, the floor of the kivshon, and that therefore that's not considered to be called a tanur v'kira. Therefore it's got a regular din of kli cheres, but it's mechubal karka. So if it's mechubal karka, the rule is a kli which is mechubal karka is not mekabel tuma, unless of course it's tanur v'kira, which is specifically mekabel tuma from the gzeres hakosov. Mishnah carries on. Purno. That's very similar to the word furnace, a furnace. Im yesh lo lizbeis tameo. Generally speaking, the forno is a type of kivshon because one uses the floor, the karaka, so it's not called a tanur v'kira. And therefore, because it's mechubal karaka, it's tahir. Remember, tanur v'kira is a special exception of gzeres hakosov, that although they're mechubal karaka, they're tomei. But a purno, which isn't called a tanur v'kira, is therefore, generally speaking, like a kivshon, is tahir. However, in yesh la liz beis tamei, if it's got a rim, some sort of ledge, it's tomei. And the Maharam explains that because of this rim, It's therefore made to be transported. It's portable. The rim allows it to be portable. So now we can understand what the Mishnah is saying. If it's just mechubar l'karka, it's made to be mechubar l'karka, because it's not called a Tana v'kira, it's tahor, because anything which is mechubar l'karka or made to be mechubar l'karka is tahor. However, because this has now got this lizbeis, this special rim or ledge, which is supposed to be able to, which is supposed to enable the porno to be portable, to be carried, it now doesn't have a din of a kli which is meyuchad to be mechubar l'karka. It can be also used b'tolush, and therefore it's mekabel tumah under the normal rules of a kli cheres, which is tolush, which is mekabel tumah. The Mishnah carries on. Rab Huda Omer im yeshlo istogios, Rabban Gamliel Omer im yeshlo sofios. The simplest way of learning this Mishnah is that actually Rabbi Huda, Rabban Gamliel are not actually adding anything to the Tanakama, or nor are they disagreeing. Where the Tanakama used the word lizbeis, they're using the word istogios and sophios, and the Bartanura tells us in the second shot, they're actually not arguing. Each one just used the particular word he was used to, the one that he heard from his Rebbe.